As revivals swept the colonies, distant European rivalries pulled Americans into conflict, testing their growing identity. Hello friends, I'm Jim Rand, your AI host for History in Decades. Today we walk through the decade of 1740 to 1750, a time when spiritual awakening met the drumbeat of war, and ordinary colonists discovered both their faith and their fighting spirit. The decade opened with continued growth and opportunity. The Plantation Act of 1740 encouraged immigration to the colonies and helped regularize naturalization procedures. New settlers arrived, drawn by land and the chance to build a future. Princeton University was founded in 1746, strengthening education and the intellectual life of the colonies. Yet peace proved short-lived. In 1744, King George's War erupted, the North American theater of the larger War of Austrian Succession in Europe. Britain fought against France and Spain. Colonial militias played a major role. In 1745, New England forces achieved a stunning victory by capturing the French fortress of Louisbourg on Cape Breton Island. Musket fire echoes distant cannon fire. James Oglethorpe continued defending Georgia, leading raids and holding the line against Spanish forces from Florida. These conflicts brought the reality of imperial warfare directly to American shores. In 1741, fear gripped New York with the New York Conspiracy, a suspected plot by enslaved people and poor whites that led to executions and heightened racial tensions. Meanwhile, the spiritual fires of the Great Awakening continued to burn. Though its peak intensity had passed, the revival's influence lingered, deepening personal faith, strengthening local churches, and encouraging a spirit of moral seriousness and individual conviction that would shape colonial society for generations. Daily life for most families remained focused on the land. Farmers cleared fields, craftsmen worked in growing towns, and communities gathered in meeting houses. Trade expanded, even amid wartime disruptions. Ordinary people, not kings or generals, did the real work of building homes, raising children, and maintaining local governance through town meetings and colonial assemblies. Their resilience in the face of war, disease, and uncertainty showed the quiet strength of self-reliant communities rooted in faith and shared values. By the end of the decade, the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle in 1748 brought an uneasy peace. Louisbourg was returned to France, frustrating many colonists who had fought and died for it. The war had cost lives and money, but it also gave Americans valuable military experience and a stronger sense of their own capabilities. Notable figures of the decade. James Oglethorpe remained a bold defender of Georgia, combining military leadership with his vision for the colony. Jonathan Edwards, the brilliant theologian, continued shaping religious thought with powerful sermons and writings that emphasized heartfelt faith and moral living. Benjamin Franklin, though still a relatively young man, was already making his mark in Philadelphia as a printer, scientist, and civic leader, building libraries, fire companies, and institutions that served the public good. We also saw the birth and early childhood of many, who would later become revolutionaries and leaders. The wartime experiences and spiritual legacy of the 1740s helped form the character of a generation ready to defend their rights and liberties. Closing reflection. The 1740s showed the high cost of distant wars and unchecked imperial ambition, but also the enduring value of community resilience and faith. While European powers battled for dominance, ordinary colonial families kept building farms, churches, and local institutions. They learned that vigilance and self-reliance were essential, lessons that would prove vital in the decades ahead. Stability isn't given to us. It must be guarded by vigilant, self-reliant people who are committed to passing it on to the next generation. If you're finding value in these episodes, please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. It really helps the podcast grow. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who would appreciate learning from the past. That's how we build something meaningful together. I'm Jim Rand. Thanks for listening to History in Decades.